everyone, Gaara here and welcome to another episode of Beat the Ladder with Gaara. Today I want to present you this beautiful zoo deck, which I got from the beautiful website tempostorm.com, which will provide you with all the tools you need to become legendary. Yay! No, but all jokes aside, I actually got this website from the meta snapshot from tempostorm.com, and you can go there, click on like tier 2, zoo is currently, or Warlock is currently tier 2, you click on Warlock and then you go to view deck and it will basically show you this list. And I've been playing this list for a while, and I was playing this list recently again and I haven't changed a single card from this list. Yeah, so I want to show you this list and basically demonstrate you that with the most common or most basic zoo deck list, I don't know who came up with this specific list with the one demon fire, but without further ado, let's go and jump right into the deck list. We start off the zoo list with double flame imp and double Malcazar's imp. Those two cards are like as staple as it gets in zoo. You would never replace those cards with any other card. Then we move on to Possessed Villager. In that slot we have the Agent Squire and Possessed Villager, and Possessed Villager is just overall better. Even though we don't run Power Overwhelmings anymore, it is just better for the Darkshire Councilman because it has the potential to give him a double buff. Other than that, it has a chance for the Knife Juggler to give you additional pings, and those two things make the Possessed Villager overall better than the Agent Squire. We run double Soulfire because we play the discard Zoolock with the Darkshire Librarian. That is like the core package of the discard zoo, the Malcazar's Imp, the double Soulfire, Darkshire Librarian and the Doomguards, and of course the Silverware Golems, which were also introduced in the Karazhan expansion. So double White Walker, also demons, a 1-drop. It got significantly worse because Blizzard nerfed the abusive surgeons in the previous balance patch. But besides that, there are still like very powerful 1-drops. Together with Direwolf Alpha, you trade into most opponents' 1-drops and 2-drops. So, and they also fulfill another role in the deck, that they're protecting your more valuable minions. Like later on in the game you will protect your Darkshire Councilmans or your Malcazar's Imps with that card. So overall great card, and because we run one demon fire, it is a demon so you can buff it. It's a very powerful play to go for the turn 1 Void Walker into turn 2 demon fire, so you have a 3/5 minion. Pretty powerful and very difficult to kill. So we have the Crazed Alchemist. It's like a tech card. We don't have the Power Overwhelmings in this deck, so we can deal with big taunt minions like the Ancient of War, but also we can kill Doomsayers. A lot of decks run Doomsayers because Doomsayers are pretty good versus the Shaman opener. A lot of Murloc Paladins and even Priests and Freeze Mages run Doomsayers, so we can get rid of those pretty easily. Also Crazed Alchemist is a nice tech card versus Shaman because you can kill those Mana Tides, Flametongue Totems that are hiding behind possible Taunt Totems, or yeah, like a Fling from Below or Spirit Wolves. So we can kill them. It's a pretty nice use overall in the meta right now. Dark Peddler, just an amazing 2-drop, one of the best 2-drops Warlock has access to, so yeah, pretty stable card. Darkshire Librarian, as I mentioned, a core package. It goes very well with the Malcazar's Imp. When you keep the Malcazar Imp and you have the Darkshire Librarian, you can keep those when you go first, because you will just yeah, replace the card you discarded with another card, and then you just get a free card draw from the Darkshire Librarian from the Deathred effect, so very good value. Direwolf Alpha, absolutely core to play too, since they nerfed abusive. We want to play as many buffs as we can get. Knife Juggler also still pretty good in zoo. Lost a lot of value because we don't play Forbidden Rituals and not that many 1-drops as before, but still a pretty good card in zoo and decides a lot of games, unfortunately. Darkshire Councilman, a very powerful card, especially versus Druid, a very important card to run. It's just super insane snowball potential, and difficult to kill it because of the 5 toughness. The Imp Gang Boss also the best free drop. Probably any class has access to it. The Imp Gang Boss is arguably the strongest free drop, or has the potential to be the strongest free drop. Silverware Golem, just a very powerful card that we can summon for free with cards like Soulfire. And oftentimes you have those crazy snowball scenarios where you play Malkazar Imp and Soulfire, discard the Silverware Golem, get it on the board and draw another card. This is like super crazy value. Defender of Argus, just arguably, like it got nerfed like 2 years ago from a 3/3 minion to a 2/3 minion, but still since then staple in Zoo and always played, and still even with this completely new version of Zoo compared to before Karazhan came out, before those cards like Malkazar Imps got introduced, Defender of Argus still finds a place in the Zoo deck. It's just so powerful because it also provides you taunt, which is very nice in case the opponent wants to rush you down first, and then you say nope, you cannot ignore my board. Doomguard, just it fits, so it got even stronger. It was a very powerful card in Zoo, and most people played it in Zoo already, but with the discard synergy it gets even more powerful. So this is like right now a very basic, very powerful Zoo list, and I'll be using that, and I will show you in part 2 games where I play with this on ladder, and in the third part I will also show you some stats. And yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy this video, and see you in part 2. Alright. We have a warrior, which is definitely the hardest matchup. The thing is, we have a follow-up here with this hand, but it's extremely weak if he has a Borax. Like, we kinda out to lose to a Borax, which is not very cool. So I don't really wanna keep it. Flame Imp, we have to keep it, it's the strongest 1-drop you can have. And you don't really, yeah. If he has a Borax, he takes a lot of damage. But usually we should draw something. What we would want is double 1-drop as a follow-up. That would be the best. So we did not have it, which is fine. So we just play the Imp here. Doesn't really matter if it's mana inefficient. If it doesn't kill it. He could have the Borax, just didn't want to use the coin. So what I will do here for sure is... That's awesome because I can discard this. I hope to not discard this guy. This is the best discard. So now I have a 50-50 to get like an insane discard. If I discard the Argus, that's like whatever, right? It's just that I get all the value from the Imp here, which is super insane. Now I have already a very snowbally hand. So here again I can get even more value from my Imp, but he could have a coin brawl next turn. This is what we definitely expect. So we want to split the value. I have to go for the Argus here, just so powerful tempo wise. We're playing around Revenge. So it is obviously the coin brawl. What else could it possibly be? A lot of cartoon decks, I don't know if people still run double Revenge, but I don't think that I can afford. Well, this is actually pretty good. Because I get the guy out, the Silverware Golem. And even if he has the Revenge, he needs the Revenge execute. He has the Revenge. He has the shield block, so it's pretty good. Like second Doomguard would be lethal here, which would be not the highest chance to get it, but I like pointing it out. So obviously we do as much damage as possible. We flood the board, we don't play around anything. He played the revenge, he played the brawl. If he has more revenges, more brawls, we definitely lose without an insane amount of luck. He hasn't played double Katoon buffers yet. Ooh, pretty lucky win, I would say. Yeah, we curved out perfectly in this game, but this is how Zoo goes. You lose if you don't curve out, you win if you curve out. The better you curve out, the higher the chance you win. The opponent, most classes have a way to deal with your board, but if they don't draw it, they just fall behind and just die to you either top decking Doomguard or just having so much pressure from the board. Games are very quick, which I like the most. And let's just go into the next game. Shaman, I think this is what everyone wants to see the most. Shaman is like a very tricky matchup. Like Possessed Villager doesn't do anything in this matchup, so this is why I'm not gonna keep it. You have to think about the strongest cards. You expect him to open with the Claws, with the Trog, Totem Golem. I would always keep Soulfire in this matchup because it kills the Trog and the Totem Golem. Totem Golem is such a powerful card. Trog is also a very powerful card. Here I will go for a double White Walker. I'm not gonna Soulfire this because he can play the Totem Golem. If he only has Totem, so oftentimes they just keep it because turn 1 and then they only have the Totem follow-up. In that case, that's pretty nice, he gets a 1-3 damage in that case, I'm just going for the Soulfire so I don't have to discard anything, get the value trade. There's no point in attacking the Totem because it just heals itself. It would only matter if he actually has like Flame Tongue Totem, then he could deal, you know, kill it and heal itself, then he couldn't do the trade. So I'm going here for the Gang Boss just because it's the strongest minion on curve pretty much. I'm gonna get rid of the totems because he can buff it and increases the chance that he gets Spell Power. Spell Power is definitely the best one he can get and it ruins my hopes and dreams. This board is very sticky. So what I have now is I have the Imp plus Soulfire combo, which I will do. So I'm going for the Knife Juggler. I can save him. It's like, why not? Try to get the ping. If I don't get the ping, I will trade my White Walker in. Another nice draw for the following turn. Pretty sticky board. You try to play around all the storms and Maelstrom portals as much as possible. He has Blood Mage Thanos Storm, which is like the best thing he can have. I might kill it with a ping. He has to still high roll. He didn't high roll on my Void Walker or my Gang Boss, which is pretty bad for him. So there's the Argus. I get a life tap, so I'm just gonna, and he overloaded, so I'm just gonna life tap and play the Councilman here on the edge. Now I got the Soulfire, so now I don't wanna life tap anymore. He could have a Maelstrom. Oh, he gets a pretty good Maelstrom portal. You always expect the Shaman to have not just 1 AoE, but like 5,000 AoEs. We take it. Discard the Soulfire. I'm not gonna kill the Murloc. I wanna push 5 damage phase. I think it's very valuable. Because we haven't seen a Spirit Claws yet. And Spirit Claws is very good in this matchup, but if he's that low on HP, it makes it like basically another dead card. You cannot afford to take too much phase damage here anymore. This is why phase damage is so valuable. Or just clearing the board in some situations. I still have my 2 Doomguards. Yes, he can get a Flametongue Totem, or he could have a Flametongue Totem, but oh, that's pretty much the best minion he could get. And a Third Storm, so pretty much the best card he could have. Let's see if he hits the 50-50 as well. He didn't hit the 50-50, so at least something went towards my favor. I can't, with this card I cannot life tap for the Doomguard. Doomguard would be lethal, but yeah, if it's not Doomguard, it would be just strictly worse to go for the Librarian. Now he could get taunts and whatnot. The Ragnaros surely helps for him. Could he set up lethal with Bloodlust? No. I mean, if he has Bloodlust Bolt, he has a chance to get a 30% lethal. He would Bloodlust, Bolt the Councilman, go face with both, and then hope Rag hits face and kills me. Doesn't look like he has the Bloodlust Bolt, so now I'm hoping for no second frame from below. I think he only played 2 totems, so he cannot play it. He got the Bolt, pretty good for him. He's gonna kill the Direwolf. It makes more sense to kill the Direwolf actually. The 1 or 2 damage doesn't really matter, so he cleared my board. For style points. And that's it. He had 3 storms, but I also had a pretty good opener, I would say. But I also played it like correct, I would say. He didn't have the Totem Golem, I had the Soulfire. I mean, this matchup can go either way. He didn't have the Spirit Claws. Spirit Claws is a huge deal. I'm actually quite surprised that... I mean, I needed to draw the Doomguard here. Else, he would be safe, pretty much. So... I just had a game against Hunter, and I curved out perfectly and I completely annihilated him, so I didn't want to show you guys that game, so let's move on to the next one. Shaman. Shaman is also favorite against Zoo, so it's a pretty nice game. Going first is obviously much better than going second, and you play a curve deck. For him it would be the same. Flame Imp is a good opener. It's bad versus Coin Totem Golem. He has the claws, which is, yeah, very good for him. I'm going for the double 1-drop. Because I have the Darkshire Librarians, so the positioning is not the best, but we expect this guy to die very soon. It should not matter at all. But yeah, it's a small thing. The possessed should be here on the right side. Like very early in the game, it doesn't matter. It should matter at like past turn 3, 4. So he has the guy. It's kind of bad for me. I have to play this regardless. So. Not quite sure which one I would have preferred. So the Malkasa Imp died. It's really bad for me. I didn't get any value. I'm stuck with 2 Darkshire Librarians. Gets the Wolves. I hope I draw something playable. If I draw something that I discard, it's sort of playable. So I will just discard whatever here, so it doesn't matter. And then afterwards I trade, so I get the draw. If he doesn't have a way to deal with this board, then the draw is pretty good. If he clears my board, it's basically a dead card. I hope he doesnn't get Spell Power Totem. But it depends, he might just do something else. Like Storm. Storm would be pretty bad. Mana Tide Totem, that's actually pretty good for me, because I kill it for free. He used a coin for it. Doomguard. I mean, Argus is just so clean here. Doomguard would also not be bad, because obviously a lot of tempo damage, and I get the draw from the Darkshire Librarian. But the Argus just seems so powerful here. That's not nice, because he kills my draw. He's not killing my draw, that's really good for me. Oh, damn. No, I'm not gonna discard anything. Oh, am I just gonna go face here? That's actually pretty tough. I think I will just go face here, to be honest. Because he's 1 Soulfire away from dying. It's a big deal if he's at 8 life, or... yeah, obviously I'm in Storm range. Damn, if I would have traded first, if the Makaza Imp, I would have played. But doesn't matter because he still has Storms. He needs a Hex for this. So Storm doesn't do. Storm does the trick if he storms and then trades. So I'm just. He can totem up here. So Soulfire or Doomguard wins me the game. Feels bad, man. That one totem. Almost the worst 2 draws. I mean, I have to expect a storm here. I'm not sure. I think if he had a storm, he would have used it. So if he had Maelstrom, he would have not used it because, I mean, even Maelstrom, he would have used it, right? Would he have used it? No, I don't think so, because 2 minions had 3 life. But he could have stormed first. I don't like totem first. So he gets the best minion as well. This looks super bad for me. Like the boar is the best minion by far. I cannot believe that he's gonna win to RNG. It doesn't matter. It's just Hearthstone. And he got the Taunt Totem, so Doomguard is not an out for me. So I'm trying to find my Soulfire, trying to find a Peddler to get me a Soulfire. I mean, I can still win, but it's super hard with this Taunt Totem being alive. It's a good 10% chance to kill him. Alright, he has lethal, so it's my last chance. Peddler, Soulfire, or Soulfire. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. Nope. 10. I mean, technically doesn't have it. I don't wanna kill a totem. Like, if I kill a totem, he can get. Wait, the thing is, he can also trade. I don't want to give him the spell power, but he can also just sacrifice the totem and then roll again. Bloodlust of the top, boys. Anyways, so yeah, that's how he can go against Shaman. Was very close. Was just one Soulfire away from winning. Yeah, I also like to show you some losses, not just how I like outcurve my opponents and win like that. I hope you guys enjoyed the games, and see you in part 3 of my Beta Ladder series, and see you in a bit. So welcome back, guys. Welcome to part 3 of my deck tech, and here are my stats from the previous 24 hours or 2 days. And I want you guys to focus on Zoo, because this is like the deck that I was using to focus on climbing, not just. I'm testing out a lot of classes and decks for you guys. So as you can see, I am 16 and 6, which is pretty much 73%, which is really high. And as you can see, Zoo is very successful right now on ladder. I'm 2-0 versus Druid, which is pretty much the best matchup I can have. The Druid was like the games I had. I played them on stream, so if you're super curious, you can check that out as well. And yeah, the Druid just does his regular Druid things, but Zoo curves out right. Even if you're behind, you can just close out the game with some nice Doom Guards and whatnot. The reason is because Druids don't play taunts, or very few taunts. Very often Druids players just have one Ancient War in the decks and they end up not even drawing it. Nobody plays Druid of the Claws, or very few people do. So yeah, it's just easy to get the damage in, and you at some point when they play the Arcane Giants for very low mana, you just ignore it and go face, and oftentimes it just works out because it takes a lot of time for them to collect all the damage for Malygos and the Moonfires, and oftentimes they just use the Moonfires and Living Roots to kill your minions, so you don't have to be too afraid to face some high damage Malygos burst damage combo. So Hunter, I was 3-0 versus Hunter, another very good matchup for Zoo as well. Yeah, you're just heavily favored. Hunter are just very weak to Zoo. Even the Secret Hunter is much better versus Zoo than the mid-range Hunter because you have those explosive traps. Mid-range Hunter really struggles a lot to get back on the board once you lose the board. Zoo is just faster than Hunter, and once you're behind, it's so hard for Hunter to come back, so no surprise there. I lost one game to Freeze Mage. I won one game against, was it Tempo Mage? I don't quite remember if I beat a Freeze Mage. Yeah, we have the Crazed Alchemist, which is very helpful. Usually Freeze Mage really relies on the Doomsayer board clear, so if you have the Crazed Alchemist, you always keep it for the Doomsayer. You can cheese some wins against Freeze Mage, which is definitely the worst matchup, but don't be too afraid of Freeze Mages. For me, they're not very popular on the ladder. A lot of people ask me in the comments like, oh, like how do you beat Freeze Mages as Shaman and stuff like that. It's really not that important because you just don't face many, and if you face one and lose, whatever. And even if you face one, we have the Crazed Alchemist, so we can win it. So Paladin as well, 1-0, no big surprise. Paladin is the second worst class. I would actually say that Paladin is the worst class to ladder with. I found a priest version that was successful for me. It was the deck that I featured in the first Beat the Ladder series, the Dragon Priest. So far I was trying very hard. I wanted to release a Paladin video this week, but it's very difficult to climb with Paladin. This is why I lost so many ranks. I was just playing Paladin. It's super bad. Any version, maybe I will come up with a nice Paladin list or just a deck to climb with on ladder. We will see, but so far Paladin is super bad, so no big surprise. I haven't faced any priests, once again, no big surprise. Rogue, it's basically a 50-50. You can get some percentages with just playing good. Yeah, Soulfire is a very good card in that matchup, and Rook doesn't have any real board clear. Shaman 4-2. This could also be the other way around. It comes down so much on who curves out better, who goes first, who gets the better early drops, who has the answer. And I will also show you some games in, or I showed you some games in part 2 against Shamans as well. Warlock. I'm facing mainly Rhinolocks. Rhinolock, you are favored against Rhinolock. There's no Molten Giants you have to play around, so it's very different compared to in the past, where you just have to be very careful with how much damage you push, what's the sweet spot, and that was the main comeback mechanic for Rhinolock. You just clear the board with Hellfire, you play Molten Giant plus Sunfury Protector. Now you don't have that anymore, so yeah, it's a very favorable matchup. Warrior, it's a really bad matchup, so no wonder this is the only class I'm negative against. Yeah, it's just double brawl, double revenge is what most people play. Most people tag their warrior decks to beat Shaman, and automatically it will also be very good versus Zoo. So yeah, a lot of heal, a lot of board clear, Baron Geddons, Murlocs. Yeah, it's just very strong, but overall, as you can see, very successful, very standard list. Warlock, I would say Warlock is one of the top 4 classes to ladder with. I hope you guys enjoyed this third part of my Beat the Ladder series. If you like this video, give me a like, and yeah, I hope you guys are gonna have a beautiful day, and see you guys in the next video. Peace out.